Going on YouTube, little update for y'all. I made one last night, but YouTube I guess wasn't feeling the music in the background, so I'll try it again. Got the firewall all cleaned up, all chromed up more or less. I know I said I was originally just gonna scuff it all up, but it started peeling off more than I realized it was, so I just took and went it all the way down to bare metal like I will with the rest of the car. But yep, it's ready for some mud and glaze putty, whatever I decide, you know. I mean, there's a few little spot welds that I could fill in, but I don't know if anybody will ever see that anyways when I got the engine in there, so I'm not sure if I'm going to go that far. I don't know. I also said I wasn't going to sand it down to bare metal either, and I did, so who knows. But yep, she's ready for either primer or some mud or glaze putty or whatever, but I got her all filled in and they're all looking good, sanded down. Went over everything with 80 grit, and then after that I followed it up with the 180 grit, so it's all ready to go. All ready to go. Got the top off, all cleaned up. Yes sir, I'll show you what I used. Said I originally started with the primer scuff pads, but that wasn't working. So I used DA grinder or DA sander, cheap $60-$70 Ingersoll run, and cheap die grinder or die angle grinder with the sanding wheel on the end, a little 3-inch one. You can find that on eBay. And then good little pad to have. It's only like, you know, $5 or whatever at your auto body parts store or whatever. But yep, and then I used, like I said, 80 grit and then 180 grit, and some spots there was some, you know, stuff sticking out, welds that they, you know, spots that they left, so I ground it down with the 80 grit flat disc. But that you gotta be real careful with on the angle grinder. That spins so fast you don't want to warp any metal or, you know, gouge too deep. So that I don't really recommend unless you're super careful and it's only necessary. So yep, that's what I used, was that 80 grit to 180 grit, and it's ready for primer, the epoxy primer. You know, I might use some etching primer first since I'm down to bare metal, but I guess it don't really matter. Epoxy will do just as good, regardless of what people say about that. They've both been used thousands of times, so. But yep, that's what I used. A little update, and now it's nice, so I can give you a better view of what it looks like in the daylight. Got her up nice and high. Frame looking good. Core support here, I just had that I had that blasted over winter and epoxy primered, so that's ready for some paint. Get out the gun now, that's nice, and start painting that up. Got my fuel lines all done. I showed you that already. Come up right there and out the back. Now it's nice out, I can start on them, get them looking nice and wet. Yes sir. Here's my gas tanks. Got them all done up too, the inner fenders this summer, or this winter. Those are ready for paint. Had them welded up, they were all bad, they were pretty bad. I got them all welded up and they're all epoxy primed and ready for some paint. Yes sir, there's a wall of parts to fix up. But yep. Little ass shot for y'all. Yeah. The old 6.0. The 6.0. Need a little cleaned up and stuff. She's been sitting, but then I got the old 307. It's for sale. Then I finally moved the spare parts one today. I got the body back on today. Got that all. That was my parts car. Like I said, I took the frame off of that body, and that's the frame you guys seen in the garage there. And that's the frame that was under that car. I got it all switched up, so now this is more or less my parts junk car. I have to take them rims off and put on the junk rims I got on there and keep them in the garage. Got them all done up, but yep. That was a chore. Yes, sir. Looking good though. Coming along. Now that it's summer, I can get all kinds of stuff done. Yep. Thanks for viewing. Let me know what you all think. Said my next one I should have this should have that firewall all done up. So let me know what I'll think. Thanks. Appreciate it.